The stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we found in the shadows we dance.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the My Tarot Morning Reflection. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Jenny. And it is a Friday. I am very excited by this because I'm going to be doing one of my favorite things. I will be doing, as you already know, I'll be doing the class tomorrow in Frederick on the minors. And I love doing that because that's going to be followed up with doing the court cards. And I enjoy teaching the court cards in particular because that's the thing that a lot of people struggle with. So to me, that's just going to be fun going through these. And then I might do a class somewhere. Actually, I will. On doing reversals, because that's another thing that I get a lot of questions about. That might be just one of those little freebie things that maybe I'll talk to somebody and see about getting a place just to hold that, because that's a short discussion and all that wonderful stuff. So let's see. Oh, it's a little bit dark out there. Looks a little damp, but it hasn't snowed or rained again. So, but the light is shining through. So what are we doing here? We are doing the morning reflection, our daily inventory, chance to check in, go through a routine, reminding ourselves to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean and take that breath. This is about looking for our mountain. As I often say to somebody sitting in front of me, where is your mountain? Well, sitting here with you guys is my mountain. This is where I go to self-reflect and absorb the world around. And as I like to say, this is where the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we can use the tarot for that reflection. So, feet flat on the floor, rolling them ankles. Oh, those calves. Oh. Checking in with the butt, doing the kitty dance, getting that comfortable. Taking that breath and rolling the shoulders and then the neck. And now it's almost like getting that direct connection with the universe. Attuning to the cards. As you stare at my phone. We will make the phone disappear. I could actually give a class just on how to shuffle. Because, man, this old shuffle, this one here, that would have killed my fingers a long time ago. I remember, actually, it started to hurt. I shuffle so much that it started causing issues. And watching the world of poker, not that that's something I do, but obviously commercials would pop up. And I saw people doing this, and it's like, I can do that. I just need to learn how to do it. Turns out these cards are, twice as thick as a regular deck. But it really has saved my fingers. So, taking that extra breath, throwing that light switch on, finding the mountain. And what am I going to do here then? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will take us down one path. This conversation will be a totally different path from this conversation. And the question is, which string do we want to pull? And I'm going to go with the center. I'm going to go with what's right at the heart. And I have been putting in the posts a short form of how I do my meditations in the morning. And I put that at the end of classes also. About, instead of doing it with 3 and 1, I just do 1 card, which is the situation, and 1, which is the advice. I think I might come up with a tarot meditation class, but do that almost like a freebie. Maybe do that someplace like at Frederick Cups or whatever once a month where we all get together and we just talk about the cards, talk about what comes up in a reading, and then we just go through a meditation. So I think I'm going to do a tarot meditation class and just offer that somewhere. Because I do get a lot from this. So I'm going to do hour, 3, and 1. And I'll flip each card over one at a time. Good morning, Natalia. I'm going to flip each card over one at a time because it's like reading the pages of a book. So that way we all find out together what's going on this morning. So, first card. This is always the exciting one because it sets the tone. And look at that. What a great way to go into the weekend. We have the Strength card. Look at her. This lion is completely subdued. Oh man. What part of the world are you located at, Natalia? But look at this lion. It's completely subdued. And it's not because of how strong this person is. It's because they feel her strength. So this is that internal strength that sometimes we see in other people, sometimes that people see in us. Now, the reason why I like doing cards one at a time is because it's interesting to see where we go from here. But this is about those times where it just seems like we are able to just push through. But this is what makes it interesting, because when we lead into the Ten of Swords, we have limited energy, right? Oh, another Canadian. Hello. So Marines in Canada. That's right. You've said that before. Because I'm getting my passport. And we may look for someplace to move. So I've always loved our neighbors. So what can I say? So, but again, this is so interesting because we have only so much in our gas tank, right? And we can be the strongest people in the world, but only for so long. And sometimes we are so strong, we're doing the next right thing, we're doing the positive things, until we finally just realize we are tired. We have not been paying attention to ourselves, how we feel. We've just been doing that positive, creating that positive, trying to create a positive in this world. And then we get to the Ten of Swords, which I love to call, or which I always call the I'm okay card. Because, see the guy, he's even giving a little hand signal down here. What's that hand signal saying? He's saying, I'm okay. And what's the first thing we say when somebody asks, when we are the Strength card? What do they ask? How are you doing? We are so busy. We're saying, I'm okay. I got this. And somebody, sometimes we just ignore the signs and symbols. So, swords are the element air. Swords are our thoughts, our ideas, sometimes our anxiety, and sometimes when we go from 1 to 10, when we are doing the numerology and we get to 10 of swords, where 1 sword is a great idea and we apply our strength to it, and 2 swords, we make our decisions, and 4 swords, we're feeling good because we finally have peace of mind, and 6 swords, we're progressing forward, but still, each one of these is a weight. Each one of these swords is a piece of iron. And by the time we get to 10, it weighs us down, but it's just one straw at a time. So, and by the way, nobody has a day so bad that they actually have a sword sticking out of their ear, right? So, sometimes this is one of those cards where this is just how we feel. But the positive thing is that the tens are what? Tens are a 1 and a 0, and this is a cycle. So the positive thing is that our bodies, the universe, or whatever is telling us that it's like, you need to fuel up. You need gas. You need to take care of yourself. If you don't stop and examine where you are, then something is going to make you stop to examine where you are. So the next card is the Page of Coins. So this is a cycle. Because pages, they're the youngest of the court cards, right? Page wants to learn to be a knight, knight wants to learn to be a king. So that's a cycle. We start off first being a page. A page is somebody who's open to learning. They're willing to learn. They're excited to learn. So, as I use with this card also, sometimes when we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, when we've given our all, and we get tired and burnt out, that's when we are what? That is when we're open to new ideas, right? So the Page of Coins. Coins are home, health, finances, and more importantly, it's the things that keep us grounded. So today we're just looking at the effort we're putting in the day-to-day, right? We tap our strength. We tap that extra energy that we have. And sometimes we feel like it's just not enough. And so instead of stopping and reassessing, getting our meds, checked by the doctor, we just keep pushing, because, let's face it, this is also the if I don't do it, who will card, right? And that's where we put in all that extra strength. But at one point, we finally have to stop and say, this isn't working. So this isn't working. And I haven't used that phrase with this card, but I'm going to start using that phrase with this card. This isn't working card. How's that? Where do I write that down at? Because when we realize this isn't working, then we can become the Page of Coins. We can become grounded again. And pages are open to enjoying life because that's what we're like when we're younger, right? Pages are open to seeing the excitement and doing something new. There's nothing interesting about this coin. There's nothing new about this coin. I mean, we're all over the age of 20 probably. We've seen these coins a million times. And yet, this page is looking at it with fresh eyes. And that is like the newest thing in the world, and that coin is amazing because it's fresh, new eyes. So, let's see what the advice card is then. It is the Fool reversed. So the Fool is being carefree. The Fool is kind of like the opposite of what's going on here because, the world can happen around the Fool and the Fool's not going to care or see it. I mean, the Fool's, let's face it, the Fool will walk right off this cliff. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes we just need to say, that I just need to go away. I need to just stop. But when the Fool is reversed, that's that negative. That is that thing where we're not seeing the world for what it is. We're not seeing ourselves for what we are. We are doing what we need to do with the strength until we walk off that cliff. And only until we walk off that cliff. And so we have our swords in our hands, so we're carrying our swords like this. It's like, yay, I've got a collection of swords. And then we walk off the cliff, and we fall, and all the swords just land in our back. And we're like, oh, that hurts. I'm going to do something different. then we can be the page. So today it's about opening up our eyes, seeing how much gas we have in the gas tank. Do we have enough spoons? I have a friend of mine who always says, I don't have enough spoons for this. And I don't know why that works, but that just seems to work. She'll say, I wanted to do it, but I just haven't got the spoons. I mean, it doesn't even make sense, but it does. So once we realize we've used up our strength, we don't have enough spoons, we can open up our eyes and say, you know what? I've got one life to live. I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to get rid of all these swords. So today, let's open up our eyes. Let's be the page and say, I'm going to try something different. And then become the page. So, with that, I hope everybody has a good day. Take a look at the number of swords that you're carrying, that I'm carrying. I'm going to make a list today of the swords because I haven't really kept my eyes open to this. Make a list of swords and then be willing to do something different with them. Take care. Have that amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. And I will see everybody on Monday.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand, whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the card.